Alright. Getting the ball rolling. Just checking to see. Checking to see if stream's working all fine and dandy. And it is. Alright, so today working on rest of the Patreon requests for the month. We have two that are, I guess I saved them for today because they're Owl House themed. And that felt appropriate. So we have Titan, Luz, and Amity. And Luz is gonna give her a little kiss. And we got this one that I worked on with Willow doing a tug-of-war against a giant hand. I'm going to assume that's Luz. So, two things I'll be working on. This will probably be another one of my longer live streams. Let's see, who do we got? Charles Buchanan's here. Rory Ocelot says Konnichiwa. Anelia, Lewis, James, Mecky Waybright, and Jake Cassidy, and MC Cubed, and Oppenheimer Media. I saw the art that you made, Oppenheimer, with the Paul Bunyan costume. I added it to my fan art folder. And yeah, Rory, I've noticed you leaving comments about giving up school and some strict teachers. Is that why you keep asking for Danny to go giant and mess with her teachers? She likes her teacher, though. Danny doesn't have a Denzel Crocker kind of a teacher. Bambi. Tomorrow is Halloween. Very nice work on Owl House. What do you think of my drawings? Oh, they're pretty decent. Like I said, I added them to my folder. So they might pop up sometime for our roundup, our fan art roundup. I did want to do around Mother's Day something with Wendy and her mom. So maybe I'll save the lumberjack art for that month. Superior Cyber Godzilla. Hello. No worries, Rory. Alright. So I actually did a lot of work on this one. I had an asset of Luz already. I just sort of played around with some of the stuff. This is how I had the eyes before, but it looked maybe a little bit too scary, so... Use yellow for the whites and like a purple for her eyes. Alright, let's see, do I already have this? Everything layered. You have a voice actor? Voice actor. Voice actor. Rory Ragatha. Some of my friends have shown me some pretty interesting Ragatha art. Some of them have made some interesting Ragatha art. A lot of Ragatha X Pomni art. They are very adorable. So I can't blame them for wanting to put them together. Pomni and Ragatha are filling a void. Yeah, she's got some floof hair. Andy Tran is here. Shouldn't give up on school. Can be what's the right word? Maybe intimidating sometimes. I know some schools are worse than others when it comes to like bullies and stuff like that. Need to find the right people to talk to about that. Parent or guardian or other higher up administrator at the school. How's Commander Clark? I haven't watched any episodes as of late. I've mostly been catching up on horror movies with a friend, watching other stuff. I finally finished the Panucci trilogy I was talking about. So, Dracula, Blackula, and Son of Kong. And Son of Kong is pretty amazing. It's maybe my favorite movie that I've watched this month. It's first of all, like it was sponsored by or produced by the NRA, which is kind of insane. The National Rifle Association of America. And when we were watching it, my friend made a joke about, was Son of Kong going to like have a gun in the movie? And eventually he did get his hands on a gun. Son of Kong is like small. He's much smaller than King Kong. He's like maybe 3 times the size of a gorilla. Um, but he did get his hands on a gun, and he was treating it like a toy, which you shouldn't do. And he did hurt himself. So this made me think, oh, this is the NRA, the early NRA, back before they were a lobby group. They were about you know, like responsibility with guns. So Son of Kong in a way was um, like a PSA about gun safety, but with a giant monster, which is extremely entertaining. Son of Kong, he's such a sweet monster. He's such a sweet Kong. Very playful, very almost. He's like a big kid. He even does some what do they call it, breaking the fourth wall moments. So it was a pretty interesting movie. I definitely watch it again. I think one of the more interesting things about it is that basically it takes place right after the original movie. So the guy who had Kong captured and turned into like a Broadway show, in the sequel, Son of Kong, he's basically dealing with all these lawsuits. He just keeps getting served, lawsuits like one after another for basically all the damage and death and destruction that King Kong caused. So it's very interesting. He's being held responsible for all this. Son of Kong, not a very scary movie, but definitely a very interesting movie. Very entertaining. Lots of great little set pieces. Oh, sorry about all that. Let's see, what else am I missing? Ronald's here. Halloween time. Oh, and that's what Plush Adventure says. Maurice Green, NY Toons, and Taddeo Gonzalez with some fun emotes. Thank you. I did well on my katakana. Well, that's good. I wish I knew what a katakana is. Maurice is asking, did I see Smile 2? I have not even seen Smile 1. I wasn't super interested in seeing it just because it was giving me like Joker vibes. Like it looked like something Batman would have to face. But maybe I'll check it out. Hello, Tho. Oh, Japanese writing. Japanese writing looks very difficult. It looks like cursive, but I imagine much more challenging. I remember trying to draw some what are they called, kanji? But it's so hard to make them look like precise. Yeah, that's cool. Enriching yourself if you ever want to visit Japan. Or have a conversation with someone that you meet from Japan. Played Rayman because of the bubbleizing scene. I remember those bubbleizing scenes. They were very interesting way to for characters to get defeated. And some of the characters did look extra cute, actually, when they got bubbleized. But I remember the recent Rayman games for the music. It had a lot of fun music stages. What was one of the songs? Black Betty? That one was so much fun. And I just adore the art style changes for Rayman. He's done good for himself from where he started. Crazed Core's here. Did I miss anyone? I think I might make this like a little cheek kiss, and then I'll have Amity get like super blushed out. I just remember in the series that happening a lot. She just get so amorous towards Luz. I know you do, Lewis. I know you do. Oh, speaking of Animal Crossing, I did animate a little something Animal Crossing related for tomorrow's video. I'm going to try to have it up tomorrow, like early in the morning. Because tomorrow is Halloween. And I'm probably just gonna be hanging out with friends, watching some movies, and handing out tricks or treats to the little tricks or treaters. Well, just handing out treats. I bought too much candy. Oh my god. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters, so most of that candy's probably gonna come back to me. I kind of wish I lived in a neighborhood that went really big on Halloween. Like every once in a while when I'm driving around, I'll see like some houses that are just like really decked out for Halloween. Just lawn covered with all kinds of fun and scary Halloween decor. You know, those places get like dozens of trick-or-treaters. I hope you all have some fun plans for Halloween if you celebrate. Or fun plans if you celebrate the 2 days of Dia de los Muertos. My brother actually decorated one of our jack-o'-lanterns this year in a Dia de los Muertos style. That was pretty fun to see. Bad's Gamer, can you do a video featuring Claudine? Well, I'm gonna make it like more apparent coming into the next year, but basically any videos, any requests or ideas like that is stuff you'd have to commission through our DeviantArt. As we're coming into 300k subscribers, I definitely want to focus more of our channel on our OC characters. So really any stuff we do with popular characters, that would have to be stuff that gets commissioned by, you know, people in our audience. This is probably my favorite example, as I've mentioned many times before. Our Power Punk Girls versus Rowdy Rough Boys. That one was basically all the art, all the animation. That was thanks to some of our, I believe it was just one of our patrons on Patreon that was using the rewards from the tier they were in to get that made. And going into November, actually, our DeviantArt's going to have our shop open for people that want to buy stream time like this, you know, to work on ideas that they have, ideas that work for our channel. Like last week, the stuff I did with Jackie, that was commissioned by some folks on DA. We were testing out the DeviantArt shop, and we actually like it better than Patreon. Much easier to advertise when we're available for commission work. Much easier to receive payments. We don't have to wait all month. And we also don't have to worry about timelines and whatnot, so it's easier to organize. Yeah, as I've said, going into next year, focusing more on our OCs and basically living up to people who want to commission art for popular characters on the channel. Brendlefly is here. And Megan. It's alright. I can see you, Brendel. Um, Another thing in the future, we'll still accept fan arts, but we might animate less of them. Um, Another thing that we're really interested in doing more is stuff like collabing with other animators. Had a really fun time adding to an animation that friend of our channel, Name and Address Withheld, made. And I also want to do some stuff with Rain Cloud. They've done some fun animations based on some of ours, so I definitely want to do some collab stuff with them. So some changes coming here and there to the channel, but still doing the same stuff. I've stupidly not taken time to practice animation, and maybe you can help me decide if I'm better off being self-taught or taking an animation class. Don't forget Lose this thing. Thank you, Swamp King. I need to look up a reference for her fang. Dear Lose Owl House Titan. Let me see. And it's on her left side. All right, good to know. Rory, I wouldn't worry about that kind of stuff. I've seen your art. It looks pretty good. You should, just focus on making art for your characters and just continue improving. And find out what kind of stuff you really like drawing, and focus on what kind of art makes you happy. It's very hard to answer that, Brendel. Only advice I can give is basically, just jump in. That's how I got my start with art. I think I've mentioned it to you before, if not you, other people. But just jump in. Even if you're not sure, like, what the best technique is, or um, how to master this style, or just try drawing something, try animating something. Try improving every day. You draw something one day and you compare it to the kind of art that you want to make, and then decide what you can do to improve it. What techniques do other people use and try to imitate? Find what works for you. But if you're just sitting on your hands, then you're not going to get anything done. So I'm not going to say just do this, just do that. Just jump in. Just try and just practice. And then you can make your own decisions about how to improve. I'll be honest, I'm very, very happy about how far I've gotten with my art and my animations. Um, I've only had a few lessons, but I've mostly just uh, played around with stuff, like with Flash animation, and I just been drawing with my mouse, and that's what I got used to. So yeah, just jump in and try it, and just do what you can with what you got. Nice of Luz to make herself a sigh so she doesn't slurp Amity accidentally. That would be bad, indeed. Never let anyone tell you that art isn't worth it. I listened to my dad say the same thing. I wish I never had. Yeah, that kind of happened with my brother, actually. He wanted to do art, and my parents were. Oh, I'm sorry. I think someone's delivering something. I'll check in a bit, but yeah, like I was saying, they were worried, like, because he wanted to do cartoons, like, in a studio, and he was learning how to do art, and they were worried, like, he wasn't going to be able to make a whole career out of it. So he kind of fell back, like, on a safety job. But he kind of wishes he'd stuck it out, that he'd heard of stuff like Patreon and, like DeviantArt stuff. Um, because when you're learning art, like, the only place for you to make like a living isn't just like through the studios at Burbank. You can find other work for you know just about anybody. Though it is getting a little bit harder now with AI art. Because one thing I did used to tell, like, some of my cousins who are interested in art, is that there's always going to be people who need art for graphics, and for lots of like little things, illustrations in books, logos, stuff like that. And I always told them there's always going to be a market for that, and there's always going to be way more people who are um, not great at art. I just remember, like, in a class of 30 students, everyone would just be super impressed with, like, the kid who can draw stuff more complicated than, like, a stick figure, you know? So in my mind, I always told people there's always going to be that need for artists. And it is getting a little bit harder now with AI, just because people can write in a prompt in their computer and it spits out like 20 images. But there's still a need for artists, graphic designers, animators, because the stuff that the computers make isn't always that great. It's not made by someone thinking, you know, it's just basically it doesn't understand like what it's making. It doesn't understand what a face or a hand or hair is. But I am happy that there are people that are fighting against like overuse of AI taking away jobs. So the stuff that we're doing can still be relevant. I'm going to release a new character, Margie Red Panda, from a Rory Ocelot spinoff. That sounds nice. Hey, Lord Adrian's here. Besides this, what other projects are you making? Well, currently I'm trying to wrap up Grande House. I have the milestone video with Jackie that I want to finish. And then after that, I just kind of want to focus on our channel's original concept characters. I have a handful of projects that are like super close to finish, so I might work on those too. Like the Kick Batowski project that I was making. Um, be right back. I want to check what was delivered real quick. All right, back. Sorry about that. Got a bunch of cute little candles for Halloween. Like some little ghosts, little cat-shaped candles. Mostly to put in our jack-o'-lanterns, but I think they'd also look just cute, like in the room. And a couple of them are candy corns. Everyone I've ever talked to says that they hate candy corn, but I enjoy it. It tastes okay. And then you can do that funny thing where you put some on your incisors, and it looks like you have like weird orange Dracula teeth. Oh, a little jack-o'-lantern emote. Oh my god, that's like one of my favorite episodes. Oh, Blue was such a jerk in that episode. He just had to have those glow in the dark Dracula teeth. Yeah, fun episode. Classic premise of a bunch of friends sharing like one toy. Kind of reminds me how disastrous it ended up when Bart and his friends were sharing a Radioactive Man comic. And I like the comeuppance that Blue gets in the end of that episode. Oh my god, I really love the episodes where like uh, Blue gets some kind of comeuppance. So it's that episode with Pinky the elephant, and the episode where he wants to go on the roller coaster. That one's such a fun little somewhat bottle episode because it's relatable. I definitely remember being super bored whenever my mom took me to places like that, the craft stores to buy yarn, and then inevitably meeting up with one of her friends, and you know, just a boring afternoon at the craft store. That's such a fun episode. So much fun stuff happens in that episode. It's like such a slow build up to the conclusion, but it's just perfect. I might watch that one tonight now. There's so many great episodes in Foster's. Wilt is definitely better than Blue. I'd say Wilt and Eduardo are probably a tie for my favorite friends on that show. Maybe add Jackie Cones as a second. And Little Peas. Those two are tied also. Pomni is squeaky for sure. Whether if she's held like a doll or if you poke her giant cheek. Yeah, it's surprising that Pomni seems to have more doll-like features than Ragatha. Does Ragatha have a plush too? Because I've seen more stuff for like a Pomni plush than a Ragatha plush. That's one marketable clown lady. Kush and Chef Monkey Show. Hello, squad. Kush in the house. Sorry for spamming you on DeviantArt. No worries. Yeah, I enjoyed that, adding that to my playlist. Some stuff I hadn't seen before. Yeah, it was a pretty good show. Had a pretty good special to sort of end things too. Was nice seeing the friends at Foster's finally giving Frankie a helping hand. That was probably another favorite episode, even though Frankie got so screwed over in that episode. The one with the make 'em up pals. That episode was just so good. The voice work for that guy. Just how bad he is at remembering everything. Just words. There's that moment where Frankie's basically scrubbing while everyone's off having the fun she was supposed to be having. And it's like Cinderella. All these little imaginary mouse friends just huddled around her, all sad for her. It was so sweet. Poor Frankie. But a nice moment at the end. That her mouth agape at the end. That basically she had been wrong about everything. Blue finally getting to put a little quarter in his jar. The Blue is right jar. The incredibly empty Blue is right jar. I just love that line. You took real good care of me, Frankie. It was so sweet. Even though that guy was kind of jerky like Blue, at least he appreciated what Frankie did for him. That was nice. Everyone needs a little appreciation. Speaking of which, I'd kind of like an Inspector Gadget show where Penny finally gets some acknowledgement for solving all those cases. I hate Bendy. Yeah, I think you've mentioned that before, Rory. He's not a favorite. Mrazish? Mrazish. I think this is your first time here. Welcome, Mrazish. And Geok. Big blushing coming in. Hello, elongated man. Bendy was blue on crack. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, he definitely had an expression that maybe he was on something. He was very jokerish, very cruel. When she finally took ever since the 80s for Penny to get any credit. Victor is here. Hello. Why is Inspector Gadget so dumb? I never understood that. Oh, hello, Luis. Luis Miguel Suarez Barrios. I was actually discussing with a friend the other day. This was actually an idea I had heard in an article about like who's Dr. Claw, because he's always like sort of hidden, and we don't know his identity. And in the article, it was basically saying, well, what if Dr. Claw was like the real Inspector Gadget? Like the original Inspector Gadget. And the Inspector Gadget we know of, the robotic one, is like a duplicate. So it's something that would be interesting. Like, what if the original Inspector Gadget was retiring or working on like a replacement for himself, like an Inspector Gadget robot to solve crimes for future generations, but maybe at some point he decided to go into a life of crime for whatever reason. Maybe before descending into becoming like a criminal mastermind, he had to destroy his creation. He doesn't want like this robot Inspector Gadget like thwarting him. So maybe he sets up the lab to explode. Maybe it causes Gadget's Inspector Gadget, the robot Gadget's like software to malfunction. Maybe he's interrupting like an update. And in his attempt to sabotage Gadget, it makes Inspector Gadget, the robot, like goofy. And it leaves the original Inspector Gadget like scarred. Maybe he loses like his hand. And maybe since they don't think there's anything wrong with the Inspector Gadget robot, he just becomes like a guardian for Penny. And maybe Penny notices that he's been glitching out, and she doesn't want like them to take her robot uncle away, because maybe that's like in a real sense like the last family she has, so she has to cover for him, solving his cases and whatnot. It would just be really interesting, because it's like who else or what else could be behind the face of Dr. Claw, except like the original Inspector Gadget. That'd be quite a face-off. It's like this this innocent, fresh-faced robot Inspector Gadget who has been tasked to uphold the law, and just this older-looking Inspector Gadget who's been disfigured from the path that he decided to take, the criminal path. Though why he decides to take the path, that would be up for anyone to decide. Greed, arrogance, maybe some kind of revenge. Maybe it ties to Penny's parents. Maybe something happened to them because of some other criminals, you know. Yeah, lots of ideas there. If people ever want to maybe make Inspector Gadget just a little bit more interesting. Swamp King loves candy corn. Hooray! It's so good. Get a few candy corns in your hand. Just pop them in. Panther. Don't think I've seen a spotlight episode for Panther yet. I think come November I'll probably get back into Commander Clark. I'll be in less of a Halloween mood. Giant Frankie. Oh yeah, I do have a video of shorts with Giant Frankie that I need to finish. But my top priority for now is Grande House. Second priority is the milestone video for whenever we reach 300K. And then yeah, there's a bunch of projects sort of waiting in the wings that are like 80 to 90% finished that I want to get done. What kind of reminds me of the movie, except the clone was crazy. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the live action movie was pretty fun. Just curious, are commissions on DeviantArt going to be open? Yeah, I'll try to have them open in November 1st. Also, Dr. Claw would be the original Inspector Gadget. Well, it would be quite the twist. What a twist! I need to look into these Duolingo characters. Can't wait to see the next video. It's going to take some time. Dr. Claw Evil Incorporated. Oh my god, Halloween is tomorrow. Yep. And then a few days after that, it's Election Day. The true scariest day of the year. Naruto's here. Hello. Mr. Red Sloth, how is your day going? My day is going fine. Cannot complain. I'm a dictionary, and you'd believe it. Are you talking about Penny's Superbook? I love the theory of Dr. Claw, the original Inspector Gadget, but apparently there's a figure of Dr. Claw, and he doesn't look like Inspector Gadget. Yeah, I've seen that figure, but you know what? It looks so weird. You could just say that his face got horribly disfigured. Or he was wearing a mask under a mask. I love Frankie Foster. She was a pretty great character. I'd love to. I'd love to see a reboot with, not a reboot, sorry, like a continuation of Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends with an older Frankie now as sort of the caretaker, you know. Maybe someone like her younger niece being the new character that we focus on instead of Mac. Get in some new friends, have some old friends, maybe still at the house, but others have already been adopted. It'd be interesting. Some old friends and new friends and even a bear. I mean, I'm sure they had some bear imaginary friends. Oh my god, the way Amity blushed on the show, I was worried she was going to pass out. Going to have her lips purse a little bit earlier. Thought she was going to be red forever. That would be pretty insane. Even if it was just for a week, that would be kind of crazy. Maybe he sees his future and he realizes he will become evil, and if he doesn't, the world would be destroyed. Are you talking about Inspector Gadget? Didn't Mandy from Grim Adventures make an appearance? She did. I know which one you're talking about. They had fun on that series. Cartoon Network in general was they just had a lot of fun. Rory, personal hygiene is very important. Have you been to Comic Con before? I've been to the lesser Comic Cons. What's the one that they have in Anaheim? Oh, I haven't been there in such a long time. What's the Anaheim comic book convention called? Is it WonderCon? I'm looking it up, sorry. WonderCon, yep. So I've been to WonderCon a couple of times. Actually got some pretty fun signatures. I got a Unikitty poster that has signatures from most of the cast. Kara Strong sadly wasn't there to autograph for Unikitty, but got a lot of fun autographs for that. I have a Samurai Jack poster. With the voice actor for Jack, who some may also recognize is Wilt's voice too in Foster's. I just love going to those conventions, seeing the creators for a lot of the programs that I like. Getting to see like some sneak peeks of like cartoons or even like animated specials. But I did have one really bad experience one year that I went with my brother. We got so sick. It's like on the way back home, we got some pizza. And when we finally got back, we were just so sick. We basically just passed out after finishing the pizza and basically just stayed in bed. And just woke up like feeling just so sick. The people that go to those conventions, a lot of them don't practice the best hygiene or general health practices that you should have when when you're in a crowd of people. It's probably not a good idea to be sick. So I just hope that whatever I got didn't get passed to Phil Lamar when I got his autograph. That would be terrible. I feel so guilty. We had gone there a couple of days, so we probably got sick early, and then the last day of the convention, whatever illness we had had probably just finished its beginning cycle. But yeah, I haven't been to a comic convention in a while. Oh, but can you do Giant Girl Jordan? Of course I can. If someone commissions me, aka someone pay me money. I love play Cartoon Network Flash games. Yeah, those were pretty fun. They still do some once in a while, I think, but it's been a while. Do you know queso? I only know the cheese queso. Sorry that happened. I feel more sorry for anyone I might have accidentally infected while I was there. What's your opinion on Tiny Toon Adventures? I'll get to that in a little bit. I just want to see what else we got here. Miko from Transformers Prime grows big enough to fight Unicron. That sounds like something I can do if I was commissioned. Hopefully the pizza wasn't poisoned. Definitely wasn't the pizza. It was being in a convention center, in a crowded convention center. Jim Conroy. I never met Jim. I hope you enjoy Comic-Con, Lewis, and have a better experience than I did. I dressed as Titan TV Man 3.0. Oh, I've never done the costume stuff, but if I ever get brave enough to try another comic convention, I might. What's my opinion on Tiny Toons? Adventures. I really loved it when I was a kid. Had some really great episodes. This was Steven Spielberg presents Tiny Toon Adventures. So when I was a kid, that for me was always like a mark of high quality. Plucky Duck was like maybe one of my favorite characters on that show, just because he just did so much funny stuff on the show. I love the episodes where it was like baby Plucky. And I guess they got an actual kid to do the voice. And you know, for little me, it was relatable. They like really, they really nailed it. Like the performance, like the stuff that was aggravating him. It was just so funny. And then he did the best parodies also on the show. He was the Toxic Revenger, um, which was pretty fun. He was Bat Duck. They did an episode that was like where he was Duck Twacey. That was also a really great episode. Oh, and then there was Furball. Oh, they did such a sad episode with him. I wish that episode had stayed canon. Him getting adopted. Trying to think what other episodes were really good in that one. I like the one where they go to the center of the earth. That one had some really great sequences. I love that giant gold nugget. I also liked it when they introduced some new villains to the series, even though they were sort of one-offs. Like Dr. Eugene Splicer. That was a fun episode. And they did some very strangely meta episodes. Like the Con Ducky episode. Where they had like a special segment showing the making of Con Ducky. I just love the mango drink take. And Hampton getting smashed on the head multiple times because he can't say the line right. Oh my god, so good. I'm going to meet Mark Hamill as the voice of the Joker. What is he voicing the Joker for now? Did they get him to be the Joker on the Caped Crusader? Or is there some other project that I did not hear about? I think my favorite villain that Mark Hamill has voiced, I can't actually say the name, but I'll say that he's in a Jay and oh my god, it's so weird. So he's a villain in like the Jay and Silent Bob universe. There was a fan that made an animation based on those villains from Jay and Silent Bob. And they couldn't get Mark Hamill to do the voice, but they did get Tara Strong to do the voice. So it was very weird seeing a villain that's usually voiced by Mark Hamill being voiced by Tara Strong. Ah, it's a little fly. I commissioned that animation of Snoopy performing a magic trick. I'll be looking forward to working on that. I haven't been at a con since they were releasing Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Oh, that's a while. That's a while back. When did that game even come out? I love Furball. He was one of my favorites. I want to adopt him. Aww. It's so sad that he usually ended up with Elmira. There was one episode that's another character that I wish would have like just been like his forever home is Merry Melody. Because they didn't do a lot with Merry Melody. And it's like she's got a perfect pun name based on like the Merry Melody cartoons from back in the day. It's like they could have done some stuff with her. Like make her a singer or a musical talent. That would have been nice. And said she's just a background character. Doesn't really get a lot of... They didn't really do a lot with her. I'm not even sure if she's in the new Tiny Toons. I didn't really care for what I saw. But if she was, that would be a good thing for, her character. Make her like the Luna Loud of that series. I'll leave it at this for now. Thank you, Crazecore. Sorry, Rory. I've mostly, when I'm doing this, it's mostly just like Patreon stuff, Patreon rewards. Art commissions. Are you familiar with Transformers? My Transformers. Uh, the stuff I've mostly seen from Transformers has been from Beast Wars. This is a super cheap CGI series. I think that might be the original CGI series for Transformers. It's probably my favorite Transformers property, and it's probably the only one that I've ever bought toys for. My brother had a Scorponaut toy. But I see some stuff here and there for Transformers. Recently, of course, it's been like the Michael Bay movies and how popular, but I'm gonna say maybe rushed they might be. Or just how, I guess just how weird the Transformers look in those movies. I've seen stuff for the new one that's going to be in theaters, and they look more cartoony. So for me, that's always a plus. If I had more time, I'd probably make some little hearts pop out. Oh. So much I want to do, but so much time has already passed. I must switch gears. Hope I didn't miss anything. Christina Bolden. I think this is the first tier. I would like for you to please make Jackie from Cyber Chase. Again, stuff I could definitely do, but that will have to be commissioned from either our Patreon or from DeviantArt. I wish I can do everything, but I only have so much time. Oh, I didn't read this one. He reminds me of Buttons from Animaniacs. Yeah. Poor Buttons. He's such a good dog. I hope Buttons and Furball attend a meeting. Some kind of place where they could talk about how hard their week was. What if Hello Nurse, Minerva Mink, and Slappy Squirrel were giant? Oh, glad you like it, Lewis. The one involving the Wolverine and throughout the episode. Oh, I was thinking of Wolverine from Marvel. Yeah, the Wolverine episode was pretty good. They were doing like Peter and the Wolf music. Everyone had like their instrument. The Wolverine was a pretty good stand-in as like a heavy, you know. I guess when they were tired of using Arnold the Pitbull, why not fall back on someone like the Wolverine? Oh, back to what you were saying about Hello Nurse, Minerva Mink, Slappy Squirrel. Can't really think of any reason for them all to be in the same project and Giant. I do remember a Giant Hello Nurse in an Animaniacs comic. I think a Giant Dot was having a fight with Godzilla, and Hello Nurse was like the 50-foot woman doing a what was she, like the card girl in those fights, like holding a giant card that said round 1. So yeah, it was fitting her role. She's mostly a background character. She kind of had just that one running gag on Animaniacs, which I do believe they retired. The Hello Nurse. The only thing I could think of doing with her is if they did like her just growing giant for some random reason, and then the boys saying hello Giant Nurse. Minerva Mink kind of had the same kind of the same running gag, wasn't it? The sort of guys being interested in her and she not really being interested in them. But yeah, if somebody out there writes them interesting script with any of those characters, I'd accept a commission with them. I look forward to them, Rory. Square shaped. I think you mentioned that before, and I thought that was like going to be a comic. Rain Cloud is here. Howdy, Rain Cloud. Yeah, I remember that line. Blatantly gratuitous giant woman cameo. I think that could be the new motto for our channel. Blatantly gratuitous giant woman appreciation. Oh yeah, they're right here. Oh, which one do you want? We got ghosts, we got candy corn, pumpkins, cats.
I'll take a ghost.
Oh, can you put this one in mine? Thank you.
Be scared.
All right, sorry about that. That was my bro. Yeah, it's night. The night just sort of crept on me, and he's just putting the candles I got into the jack-o'-lanterns, so we get some mileage out of them before they rot. No, little bro. I forgot to close my door. Usually he's at work around this time, but he took the day off today to get a root canal. The worst kind of thing the doctor can tell you that you're gonna need. Actually, my dentist is pretty good. The place we go to, me and my bro go to the same dentist. Procedures there are fairly painless. The only pain you really feel is when the bill arrives. We got some decent dental insurance though, so that helps a whole lot. But still, it puts a damper on things sometimes. Yenny! The greatest pain. Yes, indeed. Favorite video. I have to look at them again. But it was probably the Peanuts one, just because I hadn't seen that one in such a long time and I've been looking for it. There wouldn't happen to be any Ida, would there? I'm sorry, Yen. No one asked for Ida. I did do a Harpy Ida a while back. Which one was it? What month did I do Harpy Ida? This one I did a Harpy Ida recently. There she is. Hello, Ryan. Oh, I did do something with gargoyles. I'll just put Harpy Ida randomly in the background over here. For Yen. Yeah. I did do something with gargoyles this month. But it's Disney's gargoyles. Yeah, Demona. Someone asked for Demona. She was a pretty evil character, though. That was a free bonus, Luz. Oh, yeah, I got to start putting some of these animations for another shorts compilation. Alright, so for this one, I'm thinking like doing a little... It's like a little tug-of-war thing, like she's trying very hard to pull the hand forward. And then maybe the hand just sort of lets go and she falls over backwards. The patron who asked for this, they basically just wanted like a tug-of-war thing. I kind of added the giant hand just so it's still channel relevant. I do have a brand to think about. Who's the big hand belong to? It's probably Luz. Though I could probably color it green and or purple, add some scales to make it more Halloweeny. The hand is whoever you want the hand to be, as long as the skin tone is somewhat similar. Firewolf's here. Hello. Yeah, it's like an anthology kush. Robot Chicken. An episode from season 1, SpongeBob. Joaquin. Hola, soy argentino. Cuando vaya a subir un video pero con la letra de español, pero así no te entendemos. I do have subtitles in Spanish. Os subtitles. Jackie should use the moon as a baseball. I was joking with some friends about something she could use the moon for. On 420. Yuck, 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 yuck. Nobody specific. Well, it's close enough color you could tweak it to be Luz. Remember what scene in the movie Jimmy Neutron when Ublar says, "Not tiny"? I haven't seen that movie in such a long time, or the series. They just kind of shelved Jimmy. I'm thinking of making a part 2 of my upcoming animation. It's kind of taking too long to finish. Yeah, that's animation for you, right? Oh, I saw a preview of some of the stuff you had planned. Looked like Coyote versus Lola. That could be fun. Do you watch furry found footage? I'm not a big fan of found footage, but furry found footage? I'd have to look. How in the world would she smoke? She smoked at the moon. I mean, it's possible. Krusty found a way. I wonder if that clip is on YouTube. Oh wait, they do have it. Oh, but it's in French. Enjoy your pizza in 9 minutes. Yen, did Blondie finally buy you a pizza? I thought they asked the moon a question in the Mighty Boosh. A friend of mine loves to draw characters eating the world, but it doesn't just die. It's more like a safe thing. Wonder if anything like that will be on the channel. If someone commissions it and the script is just right. Like if it was someone with a lot of hunger and sort of exaggerating. I could eat a horse. I could eat the whole world. I swear someone made like a joke like that. They were like being super awkward. But I don't remember. Maybe that was Moon Girl that was saying some weird stuff like that. I just remember an episode where she was super awkward around like some cool kids. What episode was that? Yeah, again, if someone wanted to commission something like that, it wouldn't just be some random, like, okay, this random character just randomly grew this big and randomly is eating the planet. Oh yeah, I hadn't considered that for Johnny Bravo. Again, sounds like something that someone could commission. All right. I'm not missing any comments. Mr. Animator, could I get that Gargoyle Ida in DMs? Sure. Just send me a message and I'll get back to you, Yen. So I don't forget. Yeah, something like that, Kush. Forget what Jimmy Neutron's shrink ray looks like, now that you're mentioning it. He did use it a few times on the series, I remember that. Every kid genius got to have a shrink ray. Because of all the wackiness that can ensue. Oh, his was a TV remote too? Guess they can't have firearms anymore as shrink rays. Was there someone discussing politics? Battle for... I still have to check out Battle for Dream Island. I know some people mention it. Thank you, Yan. Not entirely sure what it is. But maybe when I finish Commander Clark, I'll take a look at Battle for Dream Island next. Later, Yan. I have a theory that Miss Foster and Frankie are copies of each other. Elongated man, are you saying that they're imaginary? I just think that they're family. When you think about it, Johnny Test is sort of like a gender and age reversal of Dexter's Lab. Oh, yeah, that's true. Although, I guess the big thing is Dexter's Lab is a secret lab. It's just really him that knows about it. And a handful of other people like Mandark and Dee Dee. And when Dee Dee pays her visits to the lab, it's just a goof on her brother. Touch all the shiny buttons. Johnny Test and his sisters have more of a transactional kind of relationship. It's like, okay, sisters, I'll be your lab rat for your crazy experiments. But then you have to let me use your fancy science gizmos to turn me into a superhero or whatever. It's so kind of similar, but also very different. It's the Destroyer. Wait, what's that from? Is that from Commander Clark? Thunder Dragon Legends. Haven't seen you in a while. Indeed, spooky time. Yeah, the stream's still going. Oh wow, we've been streaming for 2 hours. Lab Rat from Grossology. Oh, I remember him. And I also remember he had some sizey technology. Just curious, do you know who SB99 is? Yes. Only 2 times when Dee Dee grows giant if you count her mutating into a kaiju. I do count that. Dexterzilla. This ends now. It's so hard to do Dexter's accent because it's kind of all over the place. It might be the worst vaguely German accent I've ever heard. Also, why does he have an accent? His mom and dad speak the English. His mom speaks English. His dad speaks English. Is he just trying to pretend he's like Albert Einstein? I did love that episode with the I hate t-shirts. That mean bully that hates people with accents for some reason. Oh, that episode is so good. We get introduced to some friends of Dexter's we've never seen before. The French chef and the Irish leprechaun. That one had a pretty good ending too. Everything just gets wrapped up so neatly. All those kids with funny accents standing up against him. Same reason Stewie has a British accent. Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that episode was pretty good. I love that episode. I love it when they do an episode where it's like, okay, let's um, try to write something really well without having to lean so heavily on cutaway gags. There's just one section of that entire episode that's very hard to watch. If anyone cares to hazard a guess. Always skip through it whenever I'm watching it, streaming it. Episode about bigotry in a kid's show. Yeah, that's kind of what that was. I always consider just a general bullying kind of a thing. Because bullies, they always look for any little thing that makes someone special or different to pick someone about. Batman, Batman. I should be wrapping this one up pretty soon. But in the future, if I'm doing more commission work through our DeviantArt store, I might be doing some fairly long streams. Maybe even going on 3 to 4 hours. We'll see what kind of commissions I get from DeviantArt. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, keyframe, anchor point. It's not letting me use my anchor point. Kind of lame. Hola, ¿cómo están, muchacho? Yo soy bien, John. Eardrum talking. It could be fun for someone to be hitting the eardrums like they were actual drums. Start a little band in there. The ant bully anyone? I mean, it has a fun concept. But I kind of wish the ants in that movie weren't sapient, you know? Like they have their own little society, like they're people. I think I like it better if, like, maybe he shrunk from, like, his own kind of scientific meddling, you know? And just learn to appreciate the tiny world all around him. Maybe puts on an ant disguise and some pheromones or whatever so that he can navigate the yard without being eaten by ants. Just sees all the impressive stuff that they make. Beholds the fragility of life. You know, it's one thing that scientists do that kind of bugs me. I mean, I guess it would be alright if they only did it once, but they seem to do it a lot. It's like they'll find this like ancient termite mound or this ancient ant mound, like somewhere in like in a country like Africa, continent like Africa, sorry. And they'll be like, hey, let's pour some molten lead into this thing. This wipes out an entire civilization of little ants, termites, all to get like this mold. So we see, oh, this is their entire society. It's all the little tunnels they made over the decades. Thousands of generations, their hard work destroyed. I have uh, I have no idea like how much information they can get from this. What's the point? Like, don't they have machines that can do that? Like computers? Like, I don't know, send sound waves 10, 20, 30 feet down and create like a digital map. I don't get it. I mean, I know ants and termites as pests, and I definitely don't want any running around inside my house, but if they're outside in an ancient termite mound, leave them alone. Sorry for that rant. It had to be said. Bum, bum, bum. They use magnifying glass experiment. Yeah, um that's like the weird kid burning ants, but at like a higher level. I think it would have been better if he turned into an ant instead of just shrinking to their size. Yeah, that could have been fun too. I just don't like the concept, the cartoony concept of like the animals are secretly sapient, because that would make us monsters basically. It's the one downer of media like Charlotte's Web or Babe, Pig in the City, or Back in the Barnyard, Wild Thornberries, anything with Dr. Doolittle. Ooh, all dogs go to heaven. Fable goes west. What's that movie with cows and the rustlers? Home on the Range. Because you always got to think in the back of your head, there's like there's some meat packing plants that it makes it like less fun when you think about it. Dr. Doolittle would be a very different experience if they were speaking with cows that were at a slaughterhouse, is all I'm saying. It gets really dark if you think too much about it. A family of three is here. I didn't miss anyone else. God of the Internet. I think this might be the first time I've seen you here, God, so I'm going to say no. Dr. Do Evil oh, it's not incorporated, it's corporated. Alright. Handy Manny's Repair Shop. You break it, we fix it. Betsy from the Mighty Bee. Oh, that would be Willow. I can't really think of anything for the Mighty Bee. I don't remember them doing anything too fantastical in that series. I remember I think there was a curse behind her name. Kajala. And I do remember her kind of having like um, an overactive imagination. She did randomly believe that if she collected all the badges for her scout troop, that she would become a superhero called the Mighty Bee. But they never did an episode like really explaining why she thought that. I remember them doing a few episodes where she was like um, just training or preparing to be a superhero. One of the episodes I remember she was trying to figure out what her weakness is so that she could prevent villains from exploiting it whenever she did turn into a superhero. Which was kind of a funny concept. She literally went through like the dictionary, every single word, uh, trying to see like if anything affected her. And she gets to the end of the alphabet, and the last, like one of the last things she tries is a zucchini. And of course, by that time, she's already eaten like an alphabet full of possible foods that could be her weakness. So as soon as she bites into the zucchini, she basically just pukes up everything she'd eaten up until that point. So instead of realizing that she barfed because she was so sick from eating all that stuff, she just assumed, oh, zucchinis are actually my weakness. I thought it was a pretty fun episode. One of the few that I vividly remember because I think it might have been the first time I saw actual vomit on a cartoon like that. Because usually they censor that, or they um, cartoon like sort of barfs off screen. You just hear like the noise. I just remember her barf being just so gross. It was just like this mound of like just vomit that came exploding out of her hideout. It was so gross and detailed, but it left a very visceral memory in my head. The holy zucchini. I love my zooks. Put some into your pasta, fry them up, you know. So, how does Jackie eat? Where does she get the road? I mean, she doesn't eat Rocky Road every day. Maybe she finds a bit of road that's under construction. Lord Hater. Wander. Animator. I'd like you to meet Boodles. Where's Boodles from? Lola from the Looney Tunes show. Which Lola is that? Is that from the one that like had sitcom vibes? The Looney Tunes show? I did see something from Rain Cloud that they're possibly working on. It looked like Wile E. Coyote and a giant Lola. That's something that would be fun. Uh, maybe Wile E. Coyote making some unfair assumptions about Lola. Thinking maybe I'll have an easier time capturing her instead of Bugs Bunny. Having one of his gizmos going haywire and making her huge. I like the Bugs Bunny episodes with Wile E. Coyote because he actually has a voice. And it's usually pretty fun. He's like so arrogant. Wile E. Coyote. Coyote. Super genius. Also, it's nice seeing Bugs Bunny pit his wits against someone who actually has some sort of intelligence. Because you feel bad for like Elmer Fudd or Pete the Puma. Because they're not the shiniest penny in the fountain. They're not the brightest bulb in the bin. All right, I swear I'm almost done. Hee hee. Also, this part of the animation is making me think of um like when someone gets a KO in Street Fighter. Like slows down. Like what? KO. I love when they do parodies of that. I think the most recent one I saw was on Primo's. They did an episode that was basically just video game references. And Tater gets like she gets the Street Fighter KO. Remember, mud spelled backwards is dumb. Classic. Detention Air. I still haven't seen that one. Maybe after battle for, what was it, Imagination Island? And Commander Clark, I'll check out that one. Kuna Matata. Eliza Darwin, you can't be here. What's that from? Is that Wild Thornberries? Alright, I love how this turned out. Okay, this is great. I think my patrons will be very happy. All right. Yeah, so that's going to be the stream. I'll have a video ready tomorrow for y'all. And I hope y'all have, if you celebrate it, happy Halloween. Or a very thoughtful and festive Dia de los Muertos. That was a really great movie. A friend complained that they didn't use the poachers in the series. But I like the villains that they used for that one. Made for a nice sort of little twist, surprise villain kind of thing. And yeah, some really great set pieces in the Wild Thornberrys movie. Haven't seen it in a while. All right, yeah, feel free to DM me, Rain Cloud. Still a lot for me to that I got on my workload, but if you have some ideas, I'd love to listen. Alrighty, night, everybody. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for your comments and conversation. Talk to you all